Hello and welcome to another interesting week. I'm sure you had a wonderful and fun-filled weekend. How are your parents and your siblings? I'm sure you're all doing very great this week and this Monday morning. You're all welcome to class and I believe that you are doing great. This morning in Basic Science and Technology class, we'll be looking at Physical Health Education. BST, PHE. Like you know that BST has two aspects, PHE and Sciences. Now, this morning, we'll be looking at PHE. And the topic we'll be talking about this morning in PHE is Technology. Technology. That is the topic for today, Technology. And then we'll be looking at the aspect of material. The aspect of material technology. I hope you can see it there. Material technology. Now, I want you to pay close attention to me. I am still Mrs. Olayinka, and I want you to pay close attention and then listen attentively as I'll be taking you through a very wonderful class this morning, and you'll be learning quite a lot of things, and some things that you'll be learning will be new to you. I know we are in the world of technology, and a lot of things are being done, but I want to assure you that some of the things I'll be telling you are some of the things that you have not really come across, or you might have come across them, but you don't know the source. So I want you to pay close attention to the class as I'll be teaching you something very, very special this morning. Now, like I said, the topic is what? Technology. And the aspect we want to look at in technology is material. Material properties. We want to look at what are those materials properties and how do you identify them, and then how do we use them. So in today's class, at the end of the class, you should be able to define technology for me, and then you should be able to define material as well, and then you should be able to identify the materials and their properties, and you should be able to list some uses of these materials. So I want you to please pay close attention. Like I said before, you should be able to define technology, give me the definition of material as well, and then you should be able to identify some materials. When you see them, you know, wow, this is this particular material. No, this is this or that material. When you see any material, because in your houses, you have different materials you have used to decorate the house. Even in your kitchen, we have a lot of materials. And these materials are product of technology. So that is why you should be able to identify materials and you know their properties. And then you should be able to list the uses of these materials. Now let's go. What is technology? What is technology? Anybody want to try for me from the house? Do you know what is technology? Wow, you'll be hearing technology here and there. Mommy talks about technology. Daddy talks about technology. Even on the news, we hear of technology here and there. Now, what is technology? Okay, let me quickly tell you what technology is. Technology is a purposeful human activity which involves designing and making products. Can you see it? It's a purposeful human activity. That is technology for you. It's a purpose. When you say something is purposeful, that means it is determined. You make up your mind to do it. You have a purpose for it. That's why it's called purposeful human activity, which involves designing and making products. So you see, when you look at around your parlor now, or that particular place you are learning from, there are a lot of things that have been designed there. There are a lot of things that you're using. Even the phone you're holding, or the laptop you're using, or that notepad you're using, they are all product of what? Technology. And they have been purposefully designed to achieve a particular objective. And then they involve designing and making products. There are a lot of products in the house that you can lay your hands on. There are a lot of products outside the house. Even when you're going on the street, you see a lot of products. So in the course of this class, we'll be talking about some of these products, and then you'll also be able to identify some of these products when you see them. So henceforth, when you see this, you know, wow, this is a product of technology. You'll be able to tell daddy, no, wow, this is a product of technology. You should be able to tell mommy, this is a product of technology. And then I have another definition here, in case that is not clear enough. I say, technology is the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes. Application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes. It's saying the same thing, but in a different way. You apply your knowledge you have in science for practical things that you can lay your hands on, you can play with, you can use those That is the definition of technology. You can see these children here all having their way with technology, one way or the other, whether via the phone or via the laptop or any other means. You may be thinking, is it only laptop? Is it only phone? By the time, at the end of this class, you will be able to discover a lot of materials that are product of technology, a lot of things that are related to technology, and they'll be looking at their properties and their uses. Now let's go to some product of technology we have around us. You have aircrafts. Wow, how many of you have seen an aeroplane before? Or you have traveled in one? Have you ever traveled in an aeroplane before? Wow, that's good. And if you have not traveled in one, maybe you have seen it in a textbook or on the television. You have seen an aeroplane. You have seen aircrafts. Now, we have a lot of machines around. A lot of them. Washing machine. We have a blender. We have a lot of machines. Even in the house, can you mention some machines you can see? We have a car. The car is also part of the machine. We have the generator. Just mention some machines that you have in the house for me. The television. They are all machines. Okay. Now let's go to electronics. Begin to measure them. We have a lot of electronics, radio, television. What are they? Begin to measure them. So a lot of electronics, iron, blender. What are those electronics we have in the house? Good. Now, let's go to structures. When you talk about structure, we're talking about what? Building. Yes, we have a lot of skyscrapers. We have a lot of big buildings. We have a lot of bungalows around. We have a lot of duplexes around. We have a lot of different buildings around. Now, we have electronic devices around too. We have the computer system. We have clothing. We have utensils like your cutleries. Yes, in the kitchen. If you go to the kitchen, you see a lot of utensils in the kitchen. Now we have something here. We can tell me what is this? Yeah, it's a product of technology. You all have it in our houses. It brings what? Light. Isn't good. It brings electricity. So they are all product of technology, and I have quite a lot of them. But because of our time, we will stop here on the product. Now we want to talk about materials. I told you before that we want to lay emphasis on all the materials that we have, and then they have some materials they have listed. But before I go into the listed materials, let me tell you what the definition of material is. So materials are things from which objects can be made, or things which something is done. That is material. Materials are things from which objects can be made. Yes, we have a lot of materials that we can make things from. When you see a shelf in the house, you may not know how come the shelf, how the shelf was made. But at the end of this class, you'll be able to know some things, and you'll be able to know how those things are made. So a lot of furniture in your house, a lot of products in your houses, you may not know how they are made. But at the end of this class, you'll be able to know that, wow, this is a product of this material. This is a product of this material. That is very good. Now look at the materials we have. We have rubber, we have wood, we have ceramics, we have plastic, and we have metal. Can you list it again for me? Rubber, wood, ceramics, plastic, and metal. That's very good. Now, I'll go to the next slide and we'll continue from there. Now we look at wood. You know, one of the materials I just lifted now is what? Good, wood. Now let's look at the property of wood. You know, I told you before that we will learn what materials are, the examples of materials, and the properties of materials. Now let's look at wood. Wood is very light and can float on water. While some are smooth, while some are rough, it does not allow electric current to pass through it, and wood can break. Now, it can float on water. Some are smooth, some are rough. It does not allow electric current to pass through it. Wood does not allow this. Wood cannot conduct electricity. It cannot allow electric current to pass through it. It's not a good conductor of electricity. Then it can break. That's why you see the carpenter, he can cut it, make it into furniture, make it into chair, make it into shelf, make it into wardrobe, make it into cabinets. A lot of things you see in your house. Can you mention one thing that is made of wood in your house? Yes, the settee, the chair. Yes, the kitchen chair you are sitting on is made of wood. Fine, they have used other things to pack it up, but the essential material used there is the wood. And we have the dining table and chairs. It's made of what? The wood. Very good. Now what again is made of wood? Your cupboard, your wardrobe, your cabinet, the shelf, good, they are all made of wood. Now, you can tell me one property of wood? It can break. It does not allow electricity to pass through it. Some are rough and some are smooth and they can float on water. Now, let's go to metal. Metal, yes, metal are heavy and can sink in water. That's one of the properties of metal. You can see this metal I have here. They are heavy. Metals are heavy and can sink in water. Then they have shiny surfaces. Metals have shiny surfaces. When you put your hands there, you find that they are very smooth. Then they can be drawn out in fine wire. You can get wires from metals. Then they can be hammered into thin sheets. You can hammer them and then you bring out tiny sheets from them. Then they are hard and tough. Metals are hard and tough. Then they allow heat and electric current to pass through them. Metals allow electric current to pass through them. Then when you heat them, they produce sound. When you heat them with different materials, they produce sound. Try a metal in your house. Do you have a nail? Do you have a stainless plate? That's a metal. A stainless plate is a metal. Do you have a stainless plate in your kitchen? Try a stainless plate. Or do you have a spoon? The iron spoon. Try to use to eat the iron spoon on the stainless plate. What do you hear? Yes, you hear that sound. Yes, you can make sound when you eat them on any other material. Then we have properties of ceramics. Do you know ceramics? Yes. Look at this beautiful ceramics plate. That potter is trying to make that pot. Is made that bowl, that plate there. Look at the wonderful, beautiful ceramics. It's making the bowl. Now, let's look at the properties of ceramics. They cannot rust. Ceramics cannot rust. Then they are heavy. Ceramics are heavy. They have shiny surfaces. Ceramics have shiny surfaces. Then they do not wear out easily. You can keep ceramics for 10 years, 15 years. They always be in the cabinet or wherever you keep them, and they're looking beautiful. As long as you clean them up, and they'll be looking fine. Then they allow heat and electric current to pass through them. Ceramics allow heat to pass and electric current to pass through them. Then let's go to plastic. You have a little plastic in the house. Plastic bottle. That's drink you just drank yesterday, or the one you drank today, or the one you drank last week. You know the bottle? Yeah, it's a plastic. They cannot rust. Plastic cannot rust. That's why you see them. They keep recycling them. Recycling bottles, because they cannot what? Rust. Then they cannot decay as well. You know what decay? Spoil. Plastic cannot decay. Then there are bottles. You can see I have some bottles here. That's it, a keg, bottles, cup. Then they are not strong. If you step on them, they can break. They are not very strong. They are very light in weight. They don't have so much weight. They are not easily attacked by chemicals like acid. If you pour acid on plastic, it will not affect it. They do not allow electric current to pass through them. Electric current cannot pass through plastic. Now, let's go to classification of metal. Metals are classified into two. We have ferrous metal and non-ferrous metal. What I call it? Ferrous metal and non-ferrous metal. Ferrous metal contains iron. Non-ferrous metal has lower strength. So what are the classification of metals? Ferrous metals and non-ferrous metals. Don't forget. Now we have type of woods. An example. We have two major types of wood. Wood are derived from trees. When you look around, you see some trees around. What we get from those trees is wood. And we have two types of wood. Hardwood and softwood. Example of hardwood, you have obeche, iroko, mahogany. And example of softwood, we have redwood, wood, larch, pine, etc. Now let's go to plastic and types. Plastic are light, strong synthetic material produced through chemical process by human. That's man. And we have two types of plastic. We have thermoplastic and thermosetting. Now we have two types of plastic. What are they? Thermoplastic and thermosetting. Now let's go to rubber and types. Rubber is a special form of plastic. Rubber is also derived from plastic. So let's look at rubber. We have two types of rubber as well. We have natural rubber and synthetic rubber. Anyone can recognize this? What's it called? What's that? Yes, that's a rubber band. We call it a rubber band. Now, we have two types of rubber, natural rubber and synthetic rubber. Now, let's go to use of material. We have wood, metal, ceramic, and plastic. Now, from wood, we have furniture, toothpicks. You know toothpicks? Go to the party and you are finished eating your meat. You want to use the toothpick to pick the meat, the remnant of the meat from your teeth. Now we have matchstick. You have matchstick, you use it to on your gas cooker, your stove. You use your matchstick to on your candle. Yes, we have the matchstick. And we have electric poles. We use wood to make electric. Although there are some other electric poles that are not made from wood, but we have a lot of electric poles made from wood. And then let's go to metals. We have nails, necklace, and chain. Metal, you make your necklace. This is necklace, sorry. Necklace and chain. We have armor. We have saw from metal. We have food cans. We make some food cans from metal. And then we have coin from metal. Don't forget, I said this is necklace. Necklace. This space might not be enough for me to write it, but just don't forget this necklace. Necklace and chain. Then we have ceramic. Floor. Do you have a tile in the house? Your floor tile. Okay. It's made of ceramics. Your bedroom. Do you have tiles on the wall of your bedroom? Do you have tiles on the floor of your bedroom? Do you have tiles in your parlor? Okay. If you have tiles in your parlor or in your bedroom or in the toilet or in the kitchen, if you have floor tiles there, it's made of ceramics. Then we have some teacups, some pots. They are made of ceramic, like jug. They are made of ceramic. Then we have bricks. They are made of ceramic. Then we have some hand basins. They are made of ceramics. Then let's go to plastic. We have cups. We have plates. They are made of ceramic, plastic. We have jerry cans. We have bottles made of plastic. We have buckets. They are made of plastic. Some switches are made of plastic. Now you can see some materials, some of those, what they use them, what we use them to do. All these materials that I've taught you, you can see what they are used to do. So when you see all your materials in the house, you know which one is made of metal, which one is made of plastic, which one is made of ceramics, which one is made of wood, and which one is made of rubber. Now in conclusion, there are different materials under technology and they have different properties and uses. You can now see there are different materials under technology and they have different properties and they have different uses. Now let me find out if you have been able to learn something from this class. Now I told you about technology when I started. I told you that technology is something. So now tell me, what is technology? Good. Now I can see you're listening. I gave you two definitions. Can you say the second one as well? Okay. Products. Okay. Now let's go to material. You can tell me what is material? That's very simple. Definition is there as well. Anybody telling me about material? What's material? Okay. Now let's measure 4 types of materials that we have. Very simple. Okay. Rubber. Good. Very good. Now let's go to the properties of all these materials. Some of these, let's talk about two out of it. What are the 2 properties of wood? Okay. Can float in water. Can break. Okay. Let's go to plastic. Is it a good conductor of electricity? Okay. Let's now go to ceramics. Okay. What are the properties of ceramics? Okay. Ceramics is a good conductor of electricity? Okay. Answer is no. Now let's go to the last questions. It says, what do we use them for? Let's start with wood. Good. I know that's a very simple question. What do you use wood for? Yeah, very good. Very good. Now let's go to ceramics. What do you use ceramics for? We have cups, good, plates, and other things. Okay, let's go to metal. What do you use metal for? And then last one, let's go to plastic. Plastic. What do you use? Just give me 2 uses of plastic. That's very good. I can now see that you have been listening to this class and you have learned a lot. Thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of your day. And like we used to do, we have been doing in our previous week, we've been sending our assignment and class activity next day. So tomorrow expect the class activity on this topic and then I will see how much you have learned. Thank you so much for your attention. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.